Accessing peace. Existing without violence, with the ability to calmly resolve conflict. Downloading love. An overwhelming, deep, positive affection towards others. Activating liberty. Living your life as you see fit without infringing on the lives of others.
I've got some good news. Yeah. I've got some incredible news. Peace, Love, Liberty Radio is now on Spotify. Yeah, that's right. Spotify recently added in podcast. And there was a process for getting added to the Spotify. And luckily, because one of the distribution outlets of this podcast is Spreaker, and Spreaker somehow is connected to Spotify. They're also connected to the iHeartRadio. All I really had to do on my end was press a little button and then wait. And wait some more, and wait some more, and wait some more. But they have finally added in Peace, Love, Liberty Radio, FPP Radio News, and the other podcasts that I either produce or distribute have been added into the search function of Spotify. And no, unfortunately, I've not made spotify.fppradio.com as a link because, well, I don't know if I should send that to FPP Radio News, which is the daily newscast that I do, or send it to the Peace, Love, Liberty Radio listing. But I have added links to find the shows on Spotify on fppradio.com. So just go fppradio.com, click the show tab at the top, select the show, and then there's the link along with the other distribution outlets. And something else, I know that the Roku, I almost said Spreaker, don't know why, the Roku channel for LRN.FM may have been down for some amount of time. I think that is back. And the reason that I think that is back is, well, I got an email earlier today because I'm the one that created that channel. I got an email earlier today from the website that I used to create the channel saying, hey, you need to do an update thing. And I tried updating the thing through Roku itself, and I think that actually killed the channel for a couple of weeks. But that should be back up. If somebody out there uses Roku, can let me know if the Roku channel for LRN.FM is working. That would be amazing because, well, I don't have a Roku. I can't check it myself. Now, this is Friday because, well, that's the day that I'm doing the show now. Yes, only once a week. And I'm going to repeat that a few more times just to make sure that everybody is on the same page here. And I'm still doing the Ask Me Anything. So if you have questions, send those over. ama.fppradio.com. Yes, I know that's not an email address. That's a website address. But that website allows you to anonymously send me questions, meaning that you don't have to put your name. Yes, there is a name field on the site. You just need to put something that resembles some letters, maybe some numbers, hieroglyphs, possibly, if you have that type of keyboard, maybe. Not sure how that will come over through the emails, but just put something in the name field. Put something in the email field. Again, doesn't have to be your email, doesn't have to be an actual email, but then put something coherent in the question field, and I will answer those questions. ama.fppradio.com. And right now, I have 0 questions. So, I'm going to, well, I actually found a question that then answers itself over at Lifehack, and it's something that I've heard this myth my entire life that if you just do sit-ups or you just do this exercise or you just do this other exercise, then you can target belly fat. But can you really target fat when losing weight? I've lost a bunch of weight, but I've still got some belly fat. And I wish that I could target this. But, well, let's jump into the article. Again, link will be in the show notes where you can read it at your leisure if you so choose. Again, comes from Lifehack. Headline, the biggest myth about losing belly fat. Can you lose belly fat only? There's a guy in the fitness center I manage that is struggling with losing belly fat. To battle the issue, he chooses to wear a fat-losing belt and rubs his belly with a special fat-burning ointment. He's tried to lose belly fat for over a year now with little to no success. Most people think that they can target specific areas of the body to lose fat. For instance, they want to lose weight on their belly or on their thighs only. This is called spot-reducing fat. But this is mostly a stubborn myth. Although there could still be some truth behind it, in this article, the author says, I will explain the reasons why that is and how you can actually lose your belly fat. Now, this is something that hopefully there is some truth to because, again, I would love to be able to lose this belly fat and actually see my abs. I have not ever in my life actually been able to see my ab muscles. So continuing on, how fat reduction works. In biochemistry class, you were taught that fat is stored in triglycerides in fat cells. You also learn, maybe you learned this, maybe not. Maybe you never took biochemistry class. I don't think I ever did. He says you also learned that fat is energy, dense, and a pain in the rear for your body to metabolize. Fat is so hard to break down because it's stored as triglycerides. To use the fatty acid, your body first has to cut the glycerol molecule from the fatty acids. From there, the fatty acids travel within the bloodstream to the muscle cell, where it gets turned into energy inside the mitochondria. You don't have to understand every single step of the process. The takeaway here is that using your fat as energy is what your body doesn't necessarily want to do. That's right, your body doesn't want to use the fat. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. We're on Peace Love Radio, online at FPPRadio.com. This November, I'll be running the world's biggest and most popular marathon, the New York City Marathon, as a member of Team Innocence Project. The Innocence Project was the first legal organization to systematically apply DNA testing to cases of wrongful convictions as a powerful tool to reveal innocence. It's already been an extraordinary year for the Innocence Project and their clients. They've already freed more innocent people in the past 12 months than in any year in the history of the Innocence Project, and they're gearing up to do even more. The attorneys and paralegals for the Innocence Project are dedicated to doing whatever it takes to set an innocent person free. To support them, a new cohort of law students have recently joined and are excited to help with more than 200 cases of clients seeking to prove their innocence. 9 clients have been exonerated and reunited with their families in 2018 already, and your support now will help build on the incredible momentum of exonerations. You can support the Innocence Project by going to run.freetalklive.com. That's run.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio, online at fppradio.com.
We'll jump back into the article here in just a second. But I first want to make sure that I tell you about Zencash. Zencash is an end-to-end encrypted system with zero-knowledge technology over which communications, data, or value can be securely transmitted and stored. With over 13,000 secure nodes and fast approaching 14,000, Zencash has one of the most distributed secure node systems of any cryptocurrency. And they recently rolled out supernodes. No, that's not a secure node that you put a cape on. It's a node that has more Zen staked into it, and they allow for things on the back end to work a little bit better. Zencash itself is a platform for cryptocurrency and communications built by voluntarists for voluntarists, with the ideas of voluntary interaction being written into the white paper no less than half a dozen times. And the Zencash official wallet is available in multiple languages on multiple platforms. We're talking Linux, Mac, Windows, and Android devices. Learn more at zencash.com. So, jumping back into the article here from Lifehack, answering the age-old question, can you target body fat? Can you, if you just want to lose fat on your belly, can you do that? The author here says, not necessarily, but there might be a little bit of truth behind the myth. He says scientists established long ago that targeting specific areas of fat was impossible. The myth has persisted largely because of dubious infomercials that play nonstop at 3 o'clock in the morning. But this myth actually has some truth behind it. If you touch your body part with the most fat stored, you will notice that that part of the body is cooler than other parts of your body. That's because in this area, there's minimized blood flow. Most spot-reducing gimmicks try to increase the blood flow to a certain area of your body, such as your belly or your thighs. In theory, this works, but practically the effect is so minuscule that you won't see any real difference. So don't believe the hype. If it sounds too good to be true, it most likely is. Now they answer the question how to lose body fat. All living organisms must obey the first law of thermodynamics. I don't know what that law is. I didn't vote on it. I don't think Congress did either, but I digress. Still, I honestly don't know what the first law of thermodynamics is because I didn't study that, but hopefully he explains it. Continuing on, the balance between energy intake and energy expenditure determines energy storage. Your body stores energy in the form of fat cells. To lose body fat, you have to burn more energy than you consume. It's simple, he says. Here are 3 ways you can do this. Now, before I continue, I'm still curious about this law of thermodynamics, so let me see if I can do a quick Google search to get an answer. And thank you, Google. Actually, thank you, Wikipedia. Here, the first law of thermodynamics is a version of the law of conservation of energy adapted for thermodynamic systems. The first law of thermodynamics states that the change in the internal energy of a closed system is equal to the amount of heat supplied to the system minus the amount of work done by the system on its surroundings. An equivalent statement is that perpetual motion machines of the kind are impossible. So, got it? You have to expel some energy with heat and something. So, how do you lose body fat? Again, they're saying you can't target it. You can't say, I only want to lose fat from my midsection. But you can lose fat overall. Number 1 here, and again, this author has 3 ways that you can lose body fat. Pump your muscles. While you may not be able to decrease the fat size on a certain body part by training in the gym, you will get better proportions. If you struggle with belly fat, training your back muscles will get you a better look in the long term, as your body will look more proportioned. A great exercise if you want to spot reduce body fat on your thighs is to do squats or leg press. These exercises train your whole body and strengthen the muscles underneath. This creates a toned look in the long term. As a competent friend, or rather ask a competent friend or hire a professional coach for workout advice. Number 2, they say hit the treadmill. I'm going to pause here to say, no, the treadmill is an awful way to take up running. There's a reason runners call it the dreadmill, because it seems like you're on it forever. You're running, you start sweating, You're like, oh, yeah, I've got like a mile in, and then you look down and you've been running for like 45 seconds. Yeah, if you're going to go running, go running. That means outside. Doesn't have to be on a paved road. You can do a dirt road if you want. You can run on a bike trail. There are a lot of ways to go running that do not involve the treadmill. But since he mentions it, I will read what the article says here. Due to your genetics, you can't decide where you will lose fat in the first place, but your actions will decide if you lose fat. A great way to lose fat is cardiovascular training. While most people hate doing cardio, it's nonetheless important for your heart health. If you simply can't manage to step on a treadmill, you can sign up for a martial arts class or a team sport where you exert yourself on a regular basis. And again, or you can just go outside and start running without getting on the treadmill. Again, the treadmill is a thing that will make you hate running. The author says a friend of mine lost over 20 pounds by doing martial arts 2 times per week. And the third piece of advice that he has here is eat like an adult. We all know which foods are good for us, yet our actions don't always match our understanding most of the time. Sometimes we eat like we're 5. The best advice I can give in the case of nutrition is to eat like an adult. Eating cereal for dinner or Twinkies as a snack, to be blunt, take a look in the mirror. That's not how you're supposed to eat. Stay tuned. There's more here on Peace, Love, Liberty Radio, online at fppradio.com. And again, remember, every Friday I answer those questions. Send them over. During the 2013 Porcupine Freedom Festival, Davi Barker presented an idea for a renegade psychological experiment. Since then, he has refined his idea and put his plan and research into writing. He explains, "We aim to show the world beyond a shadow of a doubt that power corrupts absolutely and corrupt authority deserves no obedience." Authoritarian Sociopathy is available from Amazon.com, all major bookstores, and now available as an audiobook. You can support FPP Radio by shopping online. Whether you're looking for precious metals, bitcoins, or books, you'll find that and more at shop.fppradio.com. Every purchase you make from one of my affiliates, like Namecheap, Spendabit, and Amazon at shop.fppradio.com, helps fund FPP Radio. Or you can shop directly from FPP with Bitcoin in the Bitcoin store. That's shop.fppradio.com.
You're listening to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio with Darryl W. Perry. Online at fppradio.com.
Welcome back to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio. Online at fppradio.com. I am your host, Darryl W. Perry, the Liberty Penguin, the wombat, the uncut cocaine of libertarianism. And we're talking about getting in shape. Specifically, can you target belly fat? Can you target fat in a particular spot of the body? And the article here from Lifehack says, no, you can't target fat in particular areas. Now, there are certain things that you can do that will help you lose fat overall. And some of those things will then help you get more proportion so that it minimizes the look of the body fat. But you can't, for instance, I want to get rid of this belly fat. There's not just a magic exercise I can do to do that. Now, we'll shift gears here in just a moment to talk about building muscle after the age of 40. But first, I want to make sure that I tell you about a tool that you need, especially if you're a cryptocurrency user, talking about Spendabit. Spendabit is a search engine for things that you can buy with Bitcoin. Spendabit has aggregated millions of products from thousands of Bitcoin-enabled merchants. Keep your money in the free economy. Spend a bit. Use my affiliate link, spendabit.fppradio.com. And if you're a Bitcoin-accepting merchant like I am, Ask about their merchant suite to reach even more customers. Spendabit.fppradio.com. That's spendabit, all one word, spendabit.fppradio.com. Now, yes, as always, the links to these articles will be in the show notes where you can read them at your leisure. And again, both of them today coming from lifehack.org, not the same as Lifehacker, which is a completely different website. So, question is it possible to build muscle in your 40s? Well, I'm now 40 and have been for several months. And while I've noticed that I've gotten a little bit stronger in certain areas, I don't have the big, giant, bulky muscles. And yes, I have taken some of the supplements that are supposed to help you get the big, huge, giant muscles, but they didn't seem to do that. Now, maybe there could just be some genetic thing. Don't really know here. Or maybe I'm just getting old, right? Well, let's jump into the article where they say you can build muscle the Batman way. And no, they don't mean be a billionaire and get a bunch of really cool toys and just build muscles into your bat suit. They're talking about the way Ben Affleck wound up getting in shape to play Batman. And apparently Ben Affleck is 45 years old, yet they say he looks like a monster in his role as Batman. On top of that, he's 6'3". Being tall makes it even harder to look muscular, yet Batman Affleck completely nailed it. While a lot of the look as Batman may be due to his costume and the lighting, Ben Affleck, nonetheless, they say is a key example for building muscles if you're over the age of 40. Mainly because he followed 3 rules. Stick to the basics is rule number 1. Ben Affleck says he doesn't like to work out. That's where most people begin. The author here says, even me as a trainer, I don't wake up in the morning and think, yeah, it's time to do a workout session. Says training is nothing fancy, but it should simply be part of your routine. Yet a lot of people that start training at the age of 40 think they need a specific fancy workout schedule. That's not true. While your recovery periods may truly be longer, you don't need to train any differently than a 20-year-old unless you have a major physical limitation, such as a herniated disc. The most important thing in every workout schedule should be to get into a routine. This can be harder because as an adult, you have more responsibilities, such as a demanding job or a family. In the beginning, you need to juggle multiple aspects of your life. That's why you need a support system. Also, try to make friends at the gym or join groups on Facebook or WhatsApp. I've heard of WhatsApp, never used it. They will also help you with rule number 2. Rule number 2 is keep going. Most people that sign up for a gym membership quit after 3 months. Yeah, that's right. People sign up for a gym membership, and then they quit. I've heard, and I don't know for a fact, but I've heard from people that work in the fitness industry that the vast majority of gyms, especially the big, giant box store gym things, they thrive on people not going to the gym, meaning they get you in with that $10. It's only $10 a month. And then you stop going, and, well, you don't feel bad because it's only $10 a month. That's like, 2 cups of coffee at Starbucks? I'm guessing. I don't drink coffee, let alone from Starbucks. Why would I go to Starbucks to buy coffee that I'm not going to drink? But again, people might pay for more than 3 months, but they stop going after 3 months. The author says, I'm a huge supporter in making your workout and diet sustainable, yet that's much harder if you're over 40. There's a reason why most of the actors are not able to keep their bodies in the long term. For example, Ben Affleck only has a great body until he has to be on the scene. The movie holds him accountable. If Ben would step on set looking like SpongeBob instead of a superhero, no one would take him seriously. Stay tuned. There's more here on Peace Love Liberty Radio.
Are you sick of government lackeys who say you didn't build that? Are you tired of elitists who think you need a government permission slip for everything? Everything you do is an A to B conversation, and the government should see their way out of it. Create true free markets by adopting the BIPCOT No Government License. The BIPCOT No Gov license allows use or modification of any product, service, or software except by governments or government agents. Go to BIPCOT.org. That's Bravo, India, Papa, Charlie, Oscar, Tango.org.
Bitcoin Not Bombs is a launching pad for nonprofits and social entrepreneurs into the financial freedom of the Bitcoin economy. Bitcoin Not Bombs offers premium publicity campaigns designed to facilitate an organization's adoption of Bitcoin as a payment system. Bitcoin Not Bombs is fully committed to being the hub of the nonprofit sector of the Bitcoin economy, maximizing the potential cross-promotion of all our clients and commercial partners. To learn more, visit bitcoinnotbombs.com.
This is Roger Paxton from Pax Libertas Productions and the Lava Flow Podcast, and you're listening to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio with Darryl W. Perry.
The Liberty Penguin, the wombat, the uncut cocaine of libertarianism, and we're talking about how to get in shape and build some muscle in your 40s. Again, the author of this article is using Ben Affleck as an example. Ben Affleck, 45 years old, had to get in really good shape to play Batman. Batman. I am Batman. They say that if he showed up looking like SpongeBob, nobody would believe that he was a superhero. Yet, if you want to get in shape, you have to hold yourself accountable to your workout schedule, just like Ben Affleck had to be accountable. Realize that the most worthwhile thing, or rather the most worthwhile things in life are hard at first before they get easier. Write down your realistic goals for yourself or even publish it on Facebook or somewhere else. This creates social pressure to help you keep going. There's a little bit more written here on number 2, but rule number 3 is enjoy the process. And again, they reference Ben Affleck, where he told an interviewer that he had noticed that once he went for a workout, other things started to improve in his life. He increased his discipline and had more energy at the movie shoot. This is a phenomena the author says I can see on a daily basis. While we've seen in rule number 1 that training is usually not that enjoyable, the other effects in your life are absolutely great. Your workout schedule can be a Trojan horse. You start the schedule wanting to improve your physique, but you end up improving every aspect of your life. Getting a workout can be a huge win for you. Even if your whole day was awfully bad, at least you got that workout in. Admiral William McRaven, retired U.S. Navy admiral, talks about making your bed to start your day. He says going for a workout is making your bed on steroids. Asterisk, not literal steroids. He's talking figuratively here. So, no, unless you have done all of the research, and I would say are under some kind of supervision, I don't recommend you using steroids. The article here continues. It takes discipline and willpower to do it, but training has many positive side effects. Instead of always focusing on your goal, you have to enjoy and trust the process. And then there is more in this article. Again, the link will be in the show notes. You can read it at your leisure. And don't forget, every Friday I answer your questions. Send those over. Now, AMA.FPPradio.com. That's AMA.FPPradio.com.
The podcasts of FPP Radio are licensed under Copy Heart. We believe that copying is a form of flattery and do not abide by the copyright laws. Those laws serve to restrict the flow of ideas which no one can really own. Copying is an act of love. Love is not subject to law. If you enjoy the show, consider joining the Fans program and get perks like ad-free versions of Peace, Love, Liberty Radio and FPP Radio News, and also get a copy of the monthly newspaper FPP News. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com.